Hey Ken, Scott Austin here. This is funny as shit. All right, so you got a great idea, but you know that already because you've been working on it. You didn't even want to start doing this; it just happened by accident. It sounds like, and that is awesome. All right, so let's talk about how to take a funny idea and elevate it to the next level. So, what you're building is a brand. It's not about the products. Obviously, it is just about a brand, and that so it, we're not going to talk about the quality of your products and fulfillment and service and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about brand, right? So the second I saw this, it made me think of shitty coolers. So I'm going to assume for a second you've never heard of before, but you probably have, right? If you don't know the story, shitty coolers got started probably 2016 or so as a sticker. So, and it's just a pun on Yeti, right? So Yeti's making, $500 coolers or whatever they cost. And some guy's like, man, that's bullshit. He made a shitty sticker and stuck it on his old Coleman cooler, and everybody thought it was funny, right? So all of a sudden he started selling stickers. And it was years, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've looked at these people. I didn't even know they made coolers, right? Because I remember them back when they were just a sticker company. But now they've taken that, that humor, right, and started making coolers. And if you haven't heard their story before, go to their About page, read what they're saying, which is funny as hell, and then watch their video, right? And you got this Morgan Freeman sounding dude. It's a funny video, right? And this is their brand. Their brand is basically, they're obviously, focused on more Southern hillbilly type. Here, like these guys, right? These people are not serious about life, and that's awesome, right? That's their brand. And also notice, they're not upscale, they're not Yeti, they're shitty. So they just have, duct tape holding their photos down, kind of thing, right? And they're a farce. But everybody's in on the joke, and they even say it's about being funny and having fun, kind of thing. Watch the video; it's fabulously done, fabulously done. So to me, that's the goal you're going for, right? Is in shitty, what they're trying to say is we're anti this, and that this to me is not anti Yeti, but anti spending a lot of money on foo-foo bullshit, right? So they're anti, consumerism and pro having fun and partying, right? Actually, their brand here kind of reminds me of Chubby's, right? If we go to Chubby's, now these guys aren't a joke, but they're also about having fun, right? So if we look, their Chubby Shorts is the domain, and let's go to their About page, like this, right? You don't see men shirtless on brands. They all look like this, and instead they got these guys, right? Kind of thing, because they're not as serious, right? They're about having fun. If we go to their About page, somewhere there's About. I actually reviewed this one on my podcast recently. The official outfitters of Friday at 5 p.m., right? So, and they live up to that, story, and read their story also, right? So, brands that aren't based on the product and the service, right? That are just about the story are hard to pull off. But the beautiful thing is, it costs nothing to do it but your own sweat equity and your humor, and can you pull it off or not, right? Like, can you be smart enough to figure out, yeah, we're going to have, this, tropical, almost looks like there's going to be a thunderstorm going on photo, and we're going to have, a guy who doesn't look like a GQ model, and he's going to be flexing, and, he almost got, he's got crappy hair and shit like that, right? Just pulling that off is really, really hard. And pulling it off consistently is really, really hard. But that's where defining your brand and knowing what it is that are your value props and helps you, decide what it is you're going to do and not do. Because one of the easy things to do, right, is let's go back to shitty, right? They could have gone in a direction. I didn't even see the by the year thing. Oh, cool. Yeah, see? There's the sticker. And then in 2017, more than a sticker, they got hats. Let's see when we see. And then coolers show up in 2019. Yeah, that's cool. like, and they got a sticker. I drank today, right? That kind of thing. And you notice they're drinking light beer, right? Not Stone Brewery. So knowing what your brand is important, and also knowing what it isn't, right? So these guys, they started off as a pun on Yeti, and they stayed about keeping beer cold, right? So they're all about beer drinking, right? It could have just been like we're against consumerism and pick any fancy thing, and we're going to be the anti it, and they found a niche that people thought was funny, but they kept it around the party and the beer drinking. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that, right? But notice Chubby's, right, having that mantra. The official outfitters of Friday at 5 p.m., which means, we're no longer working. This is about playtime, right? So both these brands that are very man-focused, and I'm going to assume that Assaholics is man-focused because usually women aren't assholes. Usually it's men. So, you're going to have a man-focused brand, and you and whoever else you have in your crew in that brand is going to be an important part of that brand. I'm a big believer in brands like that. I don't think you could do this without putting names and faces on that story, right? So, these two brothers here, they started this whole thing out, and these guys here are the actual owners and founders of the brand. So, I think you're gonna have to do stuff like that and put your face out there and all that good stuff. And there's the whole crew. So that said, right? Defining what your brand is and I think you're gonna need high polish, and that polish. If you watch the Chubby's video, not the Chubby's, sorry, the Shitty video is really well done. And the cool thing is when I got to the end of it, let's go to the end of it here. Right, yeah. So filmed and edited by Luke, right? So Luke is one of the guys who started the company. It's either the guy that started it or the guy's brother. I forget which. So, these guys have skill in creating content, and a brand takes a lot of content. I bet you they did all, and just how you guys started, right? Your TikTok thing. I think it was TikTok. You said, you posted something up there, and people thought it was funny, and so doing that kind of stuff, that's the kind of thing, you don't want to lose track and lose focus of where you're going. Right? Because you could easily go, well, people like when I make fun of I have a Chihuahua in my lap, right? So I'm just going to say Chihuahua. Here's Chewy right here. So you can start like making fun of Chihuahuas, right? Or go off a direction. I got an Android phone. You can make fun of Android. Like you got to stay focused and consistent in what you're doing, and you're doing that pretty well right now, right? Staying on the asshole thing, right? So my only point is set your North Star, set your brand guidelines, define those things. Really explicitly, because that's going to help you make decisions. Because you're brand focused and not product focused, it's really easy to get distracted and then dilute your brand, right? And not make it add up over time to something bigger than what it could have been if you'd kept that focus behind things, right? And I don't have a real example in my head when I say that of somebody who's screwed up their brand, but I'm sure it's happened tons and tons of times. Kanye West, right? You look at the Kardashians and how they know what they're doing, right? And you got the youngest one, Kylie Jenner, whatever her name is. She comes out and she launches a cosmetic brand, and on day one it's worth $1 billion, right? Where Kanye West is just he's a nut job now in some circles. I don't know what you think of him, kind of thing. And he's lost a lot of his credibility, kind of thing. So Kanye West as a brand is on the decline. Where the Kardashians, whether you like them or not, they've only grown in their power because they know what they stand for and what they don't do and all that good stuff. So let me just start looking. I haven't looked through much of your site yet. I just looked at the top and like, I love the idea, right? So I think, so my first thing is, what the hell is an Assaholic, right? And I don't see what it is, right? So here's assholes, here's Assaholics. So I'm going to click on for Assaholics. All right, it doesn't say anything to me. I see what you're doing, but it doesn't, like, for example, for assholes, for Assaholics. What's the difference? What's a jackhole? How do I know which one of these I am, right? I know I'm not a member yet, right? But who's an asshole? Who's an Assaholic? Who's a jackhole, right? And maybe those are just completely meaningless. Maybe I'm taking it too seriously. But how would you define an Assaholic? Let's see if you have an about page. Yeah, you don't have an about page. You're going to need an about page. You're going to need a story. Our mission, with quality first, we will create unique products. That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. With quality first, we will create unique products and platforms members can be proud of and want to show off, allowing them to create and share laughter, earn money, and make the world laugh a little bit more. No, that's not what you're about at all. That is not, right? So the laugh is, right? So here's the thing. Like I said, I don't know what this is for, right? What the purpose is. So, and I saw you had the card carrying member like that. Yeah, here we go, right? Certified Assaholic, right? So let's go to this thing. And pack of 10 is $1 a piece. 20. Oh, you get a deep discount quickly there. Not as much of a discount there. Not as much of a discount there. I actually think if you should actually calculate the price per on these, and I show that in some places, because this is 50 cents each, right? This is $1 a piece. If I do the math, I guess that's 70 cents a piece. Okay, so it is a sliding scale. You're okay there. Now, but here's the point. Like, I'm a certified Assaholic. What does that mean? Am I an asshole? Am I addicted to assholes? So, like the whole minister. See, I think it's the ministry, by the way, of assholery, right? And maybe that's a little too Harry Potter when I'm saying that, like the Ministry of Magic or whatever it's called, right? But is it the minister of assholery who's decreeing this, or is it the ministry? Because the minister, you got to have that person. You got to show. You have to have an avatar for that person, right? To have that person give that thing. But here, so I buy this. What am I saying about myself? Am I buying this for myself, or do my friends buy it for me, and for what reason? So hopefully this is making sense. What I'm getting stuck on, right? So I think you have to define what is an asshole, what is an Assaholic, and what is a jackhole, right? Is an Assaholic a woman who just likes asshole men? Like, I have a friend, she's a wonderful human being, but she has horrible taste in men. They're all dicks, right? So do I get her an Assaholic card, and then I get the asshole one for her husband? So what's the difference between, certified asshole? I think I get that, right? You're a certified asshole. And there's the whole, you're a certified asshole, and I'm a certified asshole. And both of those, there's humor in that, right? And I actually, when I worked at Microsoft back in 2001, I got hired into an office in London, and they hired me basically to clean out shop, right? And I had a team of 30 people, and I fired half of them on day one, and kept hiring more people in. And someone left a book on my table or on my desk when I was gone, and it was what was it called? Oh, Love 'Em or Leave 'Em. How to build a team kind of thing. And basically, it was someone's underhanded way of saying, "Dude, you were a dick." He doesn't realize. That person didn't realize I was hired by my boss to do exactly what I was doing, right? And I thought I did pretty well at it. But that was my point. Was they were serious when they put that on. They were saying you're an asshole, but they obviously didn't do it to my face. But that that's what they were doing, right? So is this meant for that, or is this meant as a joke? Do you know what I mean? And you could use it for both, right? But so the certified asshole, I would have some description and cool factor. Yeah, so straight from the Minister of Assholery of Assaholics Anonymous. So yeah, this is a person you're saying, because this is the organization. The only point I'm making, and I'm probably doing a really poor job of it right now, is if you're gonna make this myth, make the myth believable, repeatable, and understandable, right? So what I tell people, I'll give you a completely unrelated example, but this is a brand story that I'm building out right now, right? So these guys came to me, husband and wife team, and they said, we sell this beef, we sell this yak. It's made in the high mountains of New Mexico, and it's amazing. I said, how good is it? And they're like, it is the best steak you've ever had. I said, would you put that on your homepage? They're like, absolutely. And then the second they did this, right, I said, we are no longer selling steak. We are building a brand because this isn't, when I see the words, the best tasting steak ever, this is their North Star, right? This is their brand guidelines that we're looking at, right? We're not saying that they're the Mercedes or they're the BMW, right? We're saying they're the Bentley or they're the Ferrari. This is the best. It's not, highest, high quality, one of the best, right? So the second we put this stake in the ground, pun intended, we now have shifted away from being focused on our products to now we are focused on our brand, right? So one of the things I'm working on them with, and it's all a work in progress, I've been doing this with them for a few weeks, is their About Us page and and even more importantly, the About Our Animals, which we're changing the name of to Great Tasting Meat, right? These are super important because this is the story, right? So the story we want to tell on the About Us is it's family owned. It's been in Lisa's family since 1865, right? So, since Abraham Lincoln was president, they've owned this land. And they're a family and all that good stuff. And they got local people that work for them. And then on the animal side, we're trying to explain why this is the greatest steak you've ever had. Because they do rotational grazing, they winter it in some place, animal welfare, yada, all this other stuff, right? So this is us starting to tell the story about the product. And if you have to tell your story if you're building a brand, because brands are based on stories, right? Whether it be Elon Musk and people talking about how he got started with Tesla, or most people know the story of the early days of Tesla and Elon Musk, and that's how he did, he's a lunatic today in my humble opinion, but he did a genius job, right? He spent no money on marketing in the early days of Tesla. He probably still doesn't spend money on marketing, but he did such a great job in branding that, here in California where I live, like they are the number one car manufacturer. Right? Half the cars today or something, it's a ridiculous number, are Teslas. There's Teslas every other car on my street kind of thing. So, and that's because of his brand. It wasn't because of his product. Now, his product had to be good and live up to the brand, but his branding is what made him or Tesla so successful, right? So what I'm, working with Chama Valley Meat on is the fact that their brand has to be really good and tight, and that brand is the story. So if you're going to be a brand-focused business, right, the brand is based on the story, and people have to tell your story. So you have to tell people your story so that they can retell your story to other people and build your brand for you for free, right? So, and that's why if you look at, that's why I, purposely picked the, our story page, Origin of Shitty, and on Chubby's, the About page, because these people are telling their stories, right? So the other thing I want you to look at is, I go to jadepuma.com and look at my podcast episodes. I did one recently this year. Telling Your Brand Story, episode 111, right? So from July 15th. So go listen to this one. Actually watch the video because I show all these different brands, right? And Chubby's is one of them. And I talk about their About page and what I like about them, right? And how they're really good at telling their story, right? It isn't just telling their story, but it's also having a story to tell, right? So, the story to tell here is having fun. The story to tell here is fuck Yeti and spending too much money on just drinking beer, damn it. And, the story here is what, right? And that's why I go back to is this completely a joke? Is it an inside joke? Is it somewhat serious? Are you using it for two different factors? And what are the difference between assholes, Assaholics, and jackholes? Please help me understand this, right? I want to know which one I am so I can be in on the fun, right? So check that out and see what I'm talking about there. So, the first thing you need is an About page, right? The second thing you need is, let me just see what that said there. A comedic community addicted to creating laughter. See, I get that, but I think there's a step beyond that, right? A comedic community addicted to creating laughter. So are we all just calling each other assholes because it's funny? Um, I'm still stuck on that. I'm trying to come up with a comedic community addicted to creating laughter. I think you need to be a little more explicit, like, where assholes come together and rival in their assholery, or, a community of people that call each other out when they reach their limits of assholedness, something like that. Like, and those are different, right? Like, is this for assholes? And like, is it assholes? I think there's an anonymous thing, which makes me think like I'm trying to rehab myself, right? Or is it just for, like I was playing pickleball today and I met new people. I always meet new people at the pickleball court. I'm like 56, so, I have to play pickleball. It's required by law now. And I met this couple we were playing against, my friend and I, and they were really nice people. And the more we got to know each other and play, the more we started giving each other shit, right? Just like everybody does. You give each other shit, like, you know what I mean when I say give each other shit, right? Are we giving each other shit here, or are we kind of serious, right? And it could be both, right? But I think it's more we're giving each other shit, and it's this inside joke, which is cool, right? So if that's the case, what's an asshole? What's an assholic? What's a jackhole? How do I know which one I am? Like, and I would have a little, on the homepage. So what I love on the homepage, right? So this is just your homepage right now is just throwing shit at me. It's way too freaking bright. But be that as it may, right? Like this is funny. Assaholics Anonymous World Headquarters. Just that term, right? I don't know what this thing is doing underneath it, but that is just funny, right? There are a lot of generic assholes out there, but only the minister of assholery can make them certified assholes. Yeah, so I'm back to that. Am I buying this as a gift for my asshole friend? Am I buying this a gift for my friend so we can laugh? Am I buying this for myself to, make fun of myself, because that's, self-deprecating humor is a really good humor. Yada, yada, yada. Get the certified official membership to Assaholics Anonymous and unlock the assholery. That is $9.95. What happens if I click on that? Yeah, what is this membership, right? Get the certified official membership. It's $9.95. So right now I'm assuming I'm getting a beautiful certificate, a nice little card, a T-shirt, 2 T-shirts, and a mug, all for $9.95. Because that's what that photo there tells me. Now, I hate scrolling inside of that. If you're going to do an accordion, just have it be an accordion. See, this doesn't tell me what I'm getting. This doesn't tell me what the product is. Oh. Wait, now here's the lowdown to the nitty-gritty of what you'll receive with this extra special certified official membership and how you can turn the $9.95 membership fee into literally hundreds of dollars. Oh, and fame. You get official membership, savings, 3 digital membership certificates. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what that is, right? It's pissing me off reading it, right? Now, if that's part of the joke, right, we're just going to take $10 of yours. Great. But I don't get it. It seems to me like this is some sort of affiliate scam, right? Oh, automatically approved for the ambassador affiliate program. Yeah. So this doesn't explain what the hell's going on and what it is. That text is really, really small. Italics make it even worse. It's hard for me to read it. I'm old. I would make it like 18-point font instead of, this is, what, is that 10-point font? 0.875 rem. 8.75 font. Oh my God. I've never seen font that small in the Shopify store. So, and you got a lot going on here, right? So when Shitty got started, Shitty sold, right? A sticker. And they built their brand off a sticker, right? Now, they accelerated quickly, absolutely, right? But my point being, sometimes less is more. So you need to be clear what it is you're selling, what I'm getting when I buy this, who should buy it, who should they buy it for, kind of thing. And I don't see that yet. I see a lot of stuff, right? Like this is just a lot of stuff. I'm just looking here. Membership. This is all. So my gut tells me this is 4 different things. But when I click on it, it's all the same thing, this membership thing. And I got no fucking clue what this membership thing is. You told me you're okay with harsh feedback, so I'm just swearing my head off because it's fun. So you got to be clear on what it is you're selling. Now, what I like to do on a homepage is build a "You Are Here" sign, right? So, and normally, by the way, I start on these feedback things at the product, and then I work up to collections, and then then I talk about navigation, and then maybe I talk about the homepage. I'm doing the exact opposite for you because most of my customers are a product-focused business, right? You're a brand-focused business, so it's actually, you work things backwards. But here, right, so I got a Chama Valley meat. Notice this banner doesn't have any calls to action. It's not clickable. So we're just putting a stake in the ground. The best tasting steak ever since 1865, and here's a couple of the reasons why. So what we're saying is, that's why I call it a "You Are Here" sign. You are here. So this is what we do. If you are looking for, crappy meats to serve your family economically, you're in the wrong place. If you're looking for baked potatoes, you're in the wrong place, right? If you're looking for the best tasting steak you ever had, which means, by the way, that just says expensive, you're in the right place. Come join us, right? Kind of thing. So for you, and let's actually see what, and the more established you get, the less you're going to need to do that. Let's see what Shitty does on their homepage. The Ultimate Party Cooler, right? Or Ultimate Party Coolers. So now they do have a Shop Now button, but they're setting context. This is what we do, right? We're no longer just a sticker company. We've actually turned that we made a brand out of the term shitty. And the whole thing was, the whole joke was I can say the word shit on a sticker and get away with it, right? To me, that was the inside joke behind the thing. They made fun of Yeti and got to say shit in public, and have a sticker that said shit, right, on their product. It's sort of like in UK, the French Connection, FC UK, right? Everywhere you walk, and you see the French Connection UK is the name of the company, and its initials is FC UK, and they just have FC UK all over the place. And it's just fun because they're saying fuck without saying fuck, right? You're saying ass without saying ass, and they're saying shitty or they're saying shit without saying shit. And there's total value in that, right? That's why it's funny what you're doing here, right? And it's the whole the play on words you're doing, all that kind of stuff is well thought out, and it's the kind of thing you can build a story around. But for here, right? What is your North Star? Where assholes come together, where assholes get called out, help an asshole, help your asshole friend. What is the thing you're about, so people can understand, like, this is just too much, and I had no idea that this was all promoting the exact same thing, which when I click to it, I don't understand what that thing is, right? I thought if I clicked on this, I'd get my certified asshole card, but I don't, right? Even though there's my certified asshole card, but I think I don't get it. I think I only get digital ones or some crap, right? But if I go here, yeah, and that's a horrible banner. We'll talk about that a little later, right? But here's where I can get my certified asshole card. I just want to see what your video is. Yeah, I don't get that. And, like I said before, I'm 56, right? I might not be your target audience. I am an asshole, or I can be an asshole in a lot of ways, but I don't understand the purpose of this video. This is, and I know I'm bouncing around a lot, so I apologize for that. But let's just look at this again. Oh, so that's member also. I'm getting confused. If I go here, homepage, click on this. Oh, that's membership. So I'm just looking up here in the URL now. That's membership. This is member. But like on that video, and I am a huge fan of video. Huge fan of video. I love video. There's no better way to build a brand than through videos, right? But on this one here, so and I'm gonna pause it here. When other assholes see your certified asshole card, modeling in Key West. So I guess this is modeling. Setting up my card, that's modeling. I wouldn't call it that, but whatever. Like I said, I can be stupid about shit a lot. So now, remember, when others assholes, so the person that picks this up is an asshole. So is that me? Am I modeling my card right now? Is this the person modeling their card? Because to me, this looks like someone put the asshole card down. These people are innocents in the background, and somehow I'm connecting them, right? Which maybe is what you're doing. I don't know. And then this, and I'm going to turn on the sound. Oh, okay. There was sound. So let me start over with sound. See if it makes more sense to me. All right. Are you Australian? Because I think that was an Aussie speaking. All right. Is that your card? Sure it is. Can we borrow it? That makes sense. Now I'm liking it. All right, so now my takeaway is I like calling myself an asshole because I'm funny, right? That's what that video says to me. Now that I actually listened to the audio, because the audio was helpful. Because the reason I'm bringing this all up, right? This is the number 2 asset you're providing. So here's the product. Here's the main product photo. And that's ugly. That's just the way your theme works, though. Can I go to the next one? No, I can't. And then, so the number 2 asset you're giving was that video. And it took me a long time to understand why that was there. I would see if you could turn the show or play audio on by default. It's probably turned off right now in some setting somewhere in your theme. Yeah, because I just still don't get it. And now you've got these horrible freaking very portrait photos, which are great on phone, but as you can see on a desktop, that's just moving things around. So like in the theme that I always use, you can set it so that this very portrait thing doesn't get displayed any taller than, let's say, 500 pixels. That way it won't go off the screen like that. But those are details. And then this one, is this another video? Oh, let's see what this one does. No, that is not a video. That is just a photo that looks like a video. So now I'm deceived. I don't know what that one is. I don't know what value that's adding right now. So what I'm leading up to is, I think, like, my initial impression was, this is fucking funny. Right? This is funny as shit, right? And that's your response. That's what you want, right? It says, it's the community, that kind of thing. Now, just keep wrapping that story up and making it tighter and tighter, right? When people like me get confused, and I don't mean me personally, like me, anyone, like, you got to make this much simpler for your customers to be in on the joke. Because everybody loves being in on jokes, right? Everybody loves being on the inside. So what's the joke, and how do I become an insider on the joke? And if I was to come here, like, people might be, they might just be buying your cards just because it's funny to say, you're an asshole or certified asshole. Like, that is funny, right? But there's so much going on here, right? So 4 assholes. I'm an asshole. I want to go buy something, and I got this. I got this. I got this. and there's so much motion going on here. Why, when I click on this, do I get a search button? That's not search. That's a quick buy. And I'm not a fan of the quick buy pop-up stuff, and this is a great reason why, because you've got this black background over a black background. It's really confusing to know what's part of the thing I should be looking at, the center stuff, and what's the part that's the background that I should be ignoring, especially with this 000 black that you've got going on background. So there's all this stuff for assholes, and I think you got too much stuff. Or at least you have too much stuff to start out with. Or if you're going to do this, right, if you're going to have this much stuff, right, for assholes, you might have step 1, become a member, or get certified, right? Step 2, now that you're certified, celebrate your certification, or proudly display your certification, right? So you could break it down for people into the steps that they should do. And I'm going to give you an example of this, and I was going to say one more thing. Oh yeah, so I always point to different things, and I'm going to point to 2 different things here. Hopefully I remember them both by the time I'm done. So I'm going to go to Heritage Park, and they have a stock your studs, right? And what we do here is we're telling them, hey, if you buy $150 worth of shit, you get 10% off. You buy $300, you get 20% off. So let's get started. And we walk them through. Step 1, silk and wool. Step 2, all-purpose. Step 3, baby and toddler. Step 4, accessories. Now right here, I can add these 2 to my cart, and you'll see we have this little thing that this display thing that happens. They can go to the next step, which is all-purpose, or they can skip forward to accessories, right? And then they can add some accessories to their cart. So we're walking them through step by step, right? So for you, and maybe you don't build something like this on day 1, but you should think about it. What is the process for becoming, a member of the asshole world, right? Whatever the terms you're using, kind of thing. So here, for assholes, you could have, instead of this stuff, right? You could have, hey, there's 4 easy steps to becoming a proud asshole. Step 1, get certified with us, and you can walk them through that. And step 2, share your certification, blah, 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 whatever that is. Step 3, display it proudly on yourself and, on your truck or whatever kind of thing. So what that does is it takes this list of products, which is what you have right here, and turns it into a journey that people are going on. They don't realize that they need this plus this plus this to be a real certified asshole, right? So this is just a list of products. Turn that list of products into a purchasing journey, or a journey that they have to walk through, right? Your emails are going to support that and follow through also. Hey, congratulations on getting certified. Now let's celebrate your certification with step 2 of the process. So if you have this journey that they walk through and you communicate that to people on your website, you're going to do it in all your marketing. And by your marketing, this one, I mean more of your email, your post-purchase marketing, which is email, right? Not your pre-purchase marketing, which is, posting on social and those kind of things. But getting people to understand, how do they participate in this comically good time that you're presenting them here on the web? How do they participate in that fully? Help them with that, right? Give them the recipe to success. So, what I would start out with going back, right, is, forget that for a second, See, I like this. There are a lot of generic assholes out there, but only the minister of assholery can make them certified assholes. Get started now. And maybe step 1 of that is you need to determine what type of asshole you are. You're either an asshole, an assholic, or a jackhole. Here's what an asshole is. Here's what an assaholic is. Here's what a jackhole is. Pick which one is you, right? Boom, you've done that. All right, great. You're a jackhole. And I don't think I've even looked at your jackhole website yet, or page yet. As a jackhole, here's the steps you need to do become. Now, see, this is a certified asshole, but I'm on a jackhole page. So now, once again, confused. Here I see certified jackhole up in the upper corner, but then there's asshole, and then there's assaholic. So Yeah, if I was you, I would make these 3 separate products. Because I think, and I'm making a lot of assumptions here, so whenever I'm wrong, totally fine for you to say, shut up, you're wrong, right? By the way, I just love, the branding you're starting to do, like having this little seal and using it in the gold stamp. It's really nicely done. I'd love to see with a QR code. That's funny as hell, right? But on this one here, there's 3 journeys on our site. There's the journey for assholes, the journey for Assaholics, the journey for jackholes. Don't confuse them. Once they pick, I'm a jackhole, well, I already know you're a jackhole. I'm not going to show you the Assaholic and the asshole options, right? So make them separate products, and as you're walking them down their journeys, they don't get confused. It's a much tighter conversation you're having with them, right? So when they go to the jackhole page, and they're not going to go to the jackhole page. They're going to pick the fact that they want to start the jackhole journey, if that makes sense, right? They're going to pick that, and then they're going to go here, and they're going to see step 1, step 2, step 3, and all that kind of stuff, right? And they're not going to get confused by, why does that say certified asshole, even though when I hover it says jackhole. But what I see, and I can't show it to you because I can't hover, but like when I click here, when I saw that there, it said asshole. So I see certified asshole front and center. So, and what's the difference between this one and this one? And why do you have a difference right now, right? Why confuse me at this point, right? So I remember a conversation I had years ago where we were talking about subscriptions and making things simple and purchase, simplifying purchases for people. And someone brought up the example of, well, there's this, every consumer in the world has 2 very complicated bills. Now we only have one because one of these is gone. But, 2 very complicated bills that are a nightmare to understand, yet everybody figures it out somehow. And that was back then your cable bill and your phone bill. But what's happened since then, your cable bill has gone away. And now we have, a simpler one for Netflix and HBO and all that kind of stuff. And our phone bills have gotten much simpler, right? So back then it was true, yeah, we have these 2 very complex subscription things that everybody somehow figures out. But the thing was, those were utilities that were necessary for life. We had to go through that hassle to get our life, right? If you didn't have a phone, if you didn't have cable, you didn't have life. So we put up with that bullshit because we had to. People don't have to put up with that bullshit here. If it's too hard to figure out, they're moving on. So simplify this as much as possible. Remove redundancy. Tighten the rails that people should be going down in their journey, right? Like it might be, step 1, get certified. Step 2, get a coffee mug. Here's the 3 options for jackholes, right? Step 3 might be, and now get a T-shirt to, and here's your 3 options and that kind of stuff. I like recently viewed, by the way. Although in your space, I'm not sure if it's right, but I like it. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up. So I was going to show you. Oh, so I showed you this. So the other thing I want to show you is, I think it's in Chama we got this going on. So here, right, you're using the faceted filtering from Shopify, and its default setting is to show in stock, out of stock, which, useless. And this, price thing, useless also, right? But that's what they give you by default. So what you want to do, let's go to Chama Valley, because, I'll still show you this one. I'm working on this in a few stores. And what I have is this week's podcast is essential for this, right? The powerful, easy yet powerful filters in your Shopify store. You want to listen to this podcast episode. It's only 16 minutes long. Once again, don't listen to it. Watch the video. The video is way better. But what it does, right? So let's go to our all meat. Right? And what I did is product type we're still working on, so that isn't finalized yet. But what we did, we've got 3 types of meat. So we made a meta field for meat, and the video shows you how to do that. And it's beef, lamb, or yak, right? So now people on the all meat page can say, well, I'm looking for lamb. And boom, there's lamb, right? So for you, there's going to be certificates. There's going to be mugs. There's going to be business cards or asshole cards. There's going to be T-shirts and all sorts of, things like that to help people on this page, because this is confusing as all hell, have some filters to help them figure out what that is. Even though you're going to make it into a journey, right, with steps and all that kind of stuff, you can still have some filters in there to help them out with those kind of things. Yeah, I would just turn your banners off, by the way. They're absolutely fucking horrible. And it's, well, I don't even know why. I don't know what theme you're using. But and you see this hover effect bullshit, right? So right now, your logo. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see. Your logo and your text, right? The image is underneath that. But then when I hover, it's got a black background. That gratuitous hovering thing, that animation, completely gratuitous and completely distracting. It is awful, 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 right? So what I want to do now is just go through your top ones. Yeah, please get rid of that banner stuff. Yeah, see, this is funny. There are a lot of assholes out there. We know. Believe us. We know, right? I just laugh when I listen to that. So you can write, right, which is good, right? Because you have to have a sense of humor to pull this off, and not everybody does. But is yours enough of an assaholic? So there are a lot of assholes out there, but is yours enough of an assaholic? You've changed terms on me. I don't understand now. You just lost me. I totally get there's a lot of assholes out there, but what's an assaholic, right? I don't understand. All right. I still don't understand. Um, so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about your products. So it looks like you just got a bunch of print-on-demand crap going on, right? Which is totally fine to start off with. You'll find the quality of print-on-demand is awful, but So, and I'll give you a real example here. So this woman here, Andrea, she's a full-time nurse, a mom of an infant, and she still has time to run $1 million t-shirt store. I have no idea how she does it. She's absolutely amazing. And if we look at her reviews, she's got 145 of them. It's over the past 2 years. I think we started doing reviews. Almost every review, and I haven't looked at this, right? This is just from yesterday. I bet you we're going to find the word soft and comfortable and stuff like that, right? So here, comfy and soft. Was not lying, right? Comfy. High quality embroidery. Love this shirt. Compliments. So the first, warm and cozy. There we go. And the point of bringing it, super soft, right? Like more than half of her customers talk about the quality of the material of her fabrics, right? And then the other half talk about the fun designs. Now her thing is all insider jokes for nurses and doctors, right? So these are, funny, things that nurses and doctors will laugh at, like let the beat drop and, the heart is between the fourth and fifth rib or stuff like that, So, it's one of those inside joke things, right? But when she started doing the print-on-demand stuff, the quality of her materials was absolute garbage. So she quickly realized she was going to have to source her own T-shirts and, vests and fleeces and all that kind of stuff, and then get them printed and embroidered and all that kind of stuff locally, if quality is going to be important to her. And quality is important to her because what she wants to do, right? She wants to sell a T-shirt to someone. Let's go to her reviews. Because what's really cool with her reviews is people actually post photos, right? So what she wants Heather to buy this little gizmo here, right? And then she wants Heather to come back next week and buy something else, and then something else, and then something else, right? She wants to turn Heather into a lifelong customer. And you can do that. Her designs is how she gets them in the door. The quality of her products is how she keeps them inside of the store, right? So what you want to do is, think about on your products, are you just trying to make a buck out of somebody and running? Or are you trying to establish a relationship where you're going to sell this person multiple things, right? If you just want to make a buck and run, and it's a one-time joke, a gag gift, nothing wrong with that, right? You're going to have to acquire new customers all the time, right, kind of thing. But if you think this is the kind of thing that you can get people, paying multiple times for multiple products and that kind of stuff, quality of your products is going to be more important, right, than just the designs that you have, kind of thing. If I wasn't married, I'd let you reject me. I don't know what that means, but so you're going to want to think about your products. Do you want, good quality products or just the cheap stuff, right? Because the print on demand is just the cheap stuff. And, one of the things I was thinking about when I saw your cards, by the way, yeah, I got, so, $10 for, a buck a card. Yeah, you're making money off of that. But why don't you have the $10 card? Why don't you have the $50 carbon fiber card, where their assholedness is certified in carbon fiber etched by lasers, right? Kind of thing. If you're an asshole and you're proud of it, like go to the nth degree. So have your cheap products, absolutely, but can you also have your ridiculously expensive products? Because there's a market for that also, and your margin is going to be way, way higher. So let's look at a product page. Let's go back to that card one, because that's probably one of your more. Let me just look. Let me see if you have reviews here. So you don't have a reviews page, which would be nice if you did. Let's see what you're using for reviews. Yeah, see, this page is too much, just way too much, and the quality is inconsistent, right? What's going on over here versus here versus here, and then these images. Now, I love the fact you got real humans, right? Now, our beautiful young high school, college age women, assholes or not, but at least you got real humans there, right? But are you selling T-shirts to women, or are you selling stuff to men? If you're selling to both, great, right? And in your video that I was looking at before, there was a woman who was proudly holding that card, kind of thing. So maybe it is both genders, but I got a feeling this is your audience more than this, right? I wouldn't have a product on the home page. Yeah, so see, you got all the. What I'm looking for is reviews. If you have a review carousel, you don't. This I think is fake. Those just look like stock photos, right? So I'm not going to look at that. So if you're going to be doing icons, do some icons. Make your own, right? That's part of that whole building a brand thing. Just like this little chat button down here not being your brand colors, right? The consistency of that branding is going to be important. Let me just actually go and see on Instagram what you're doing. See, I expected someone to trip that woman or something. Okay, so we agree that Elon Musk is an asshole. Oh, that guy's funny. Yeah, so you'll be working on that stuff. I just wanted to see if there was a tighter story there, and I'm not seeing that yet. Let's look at your TikTok. That guy's funny. The voiceover, I don't know if the voiceover is the same as the guy there. It doesn't sound like it. But that's funny. Um, yeah, I just don't understand, but I'm a different generation. All right, so that's not helping me. What I was looking for before that was reviews. Let's just look at a reviewed product. You don't show stars here. What I wanted to see was the words your customers use on reviews. So this one is reviewed. Let's go here. Because what they say is super important. You're not showing names. I wanted to see if we could see if they were men or women. See, I don't know if these are real or not, right? Because this is over 2 months old. So right when you got stuff set up, like this is just to what you're trying to do. Like, hey, how do I become an affiliate? Right? That seems fake to me. Maybe it's real, but maybe it's not. All right, let's go. The other one had a review. Yeah, yeah. So we don't have a lot of reviews to read what people are saying, right? And that review's old also. Let's just see if you have a reviews page. By the way, I love you have a .org here, not a .com, even though the .com was not available. Just because it makes it seem like, oh, we're an organization. Yeah, we are the real, Assaholics Anonymous thing. Page reviews. Let's just see if there is one. Nope. Okay. Nice 404 page. So let's now just go through stuff here, see what we got going on. I would flesh this out quite a bit, You can have a form, you can have, a map that shows so here's the thing, right? Um, the Assaholics Anonymous Institute or whatever, like, is it Assaholics Anonymous or was it the registry of like kind of thing? I would show your physical location. Now you don't have a real physical location, right? I would fake that, right? But tell that story, right? Here is the minister of assholedness in the Institute of Assholes or whatever the right words are, and I'm thinking like a Wizard of Oz type, scenery kind of thing. And what I've done before, let me just show you here on the Game Steward. They actually own their facility. They own their facility, right? But we photoshopped on the logo on the side and on the front. So this is their warehouse, but then we, Photoshop this stuff. So, you find a ridiculous castle or fortress or whatever type thing that is your ministry or whatever you want to call it, and then Photoshop some stuff on there to remember we're building this story here, right? We want that story to be consistent, and the fact that you're in America is actually an important thing, right? You're going to have this is obviously an American thing because of the cultural relevance kind of stuff. The Chinese would never be clever enough to come up with this kind of thing, but you do want to show that. So that was contact, privacy. It's fine. Shipping, I'm not going to look at your policies then. Contact, we already looked at. Search doesn't matter. Member updates, this is going to be your blog. Got like anything with Deadpool, right? So how much is community, right? So it's only about community, right? How much is community actually what you're about? You say it a few times, right? And let me give you a real example there. This is another one that's in the About Us page video thing that I recommended for you. Gymshark. If you read their stuff, wherever it is, let's go down to their About page instead of looking at pretty people. We're Gymshark. We exist to unite the conditioning community. Boom, right? So they're not about selling, shit so you look hot at the gym, right? They're about uniting the conditioning community, right? And the things they do support that. Now, I can't tell you off the top of my head what those things are, but I remember reading their story and watching their videos and like, oh, they're serious about that. Be human, give a shit, do the right thing, find the Gymshark way, put family first, right? So going back to yours, if you're about community, how are you going to do that? What does your community look like? What is your community, right? Do you have a Facebook group that people can join? Is there an email list that they can participate in? Where is the community? Right? This says community right here. This says community right here. So what is your community aspect? And up here, right, blog membership updates is an awful lot of words, by the way, right? You might even have something that says community, right? And that community could be, find us on social, or join this group, or, use this hashtag. But give me a real example here. We did with Rhino. It takes me a second to remember all my brands that I've worked with, sorry. So Rhino Power sells protein powder, right, for athletes. And they could have sold it to anybody, but the founder of Rhino, Ryan, whose nickname in the motocross community was Rhino, Ryan is a motocross guy, and he's kind of a nut job. And so he picked motocross to focus on first, right? And that was, 11, 12 years ago now. And they've been doing it that long, and, they're just very successful. They've expanded out, but they started with motocross. And here you see they're at a sport event of some sort, and there's their tents, and they're at every. You can't go to a motocross event and not see Rhino Power stuff, right? And so they're passionate about their athletes and their community, and they sponsor athletes, or even here, right? So we have a little athletes thing right in the top level nav. I love that banner where they can apply for sponsorship, and here's their different athletes across different sports that they're already sponsoring. So it's all this community stuff. So what they're about is powering people's, excellence in performance. And when we started doing their reviews, right, we turned on Judge Me for reviews, and we allowed people to post photos and videos. And I'd never seen this happen before. It's just fucking beautiful, right? So what happened is people didn't start posting about the photos of their products, right? Some of them did. Most of them started focusing about them performing, right? There is no product in this photo at all. And no products. It's people doing their thing, right? And the community did this on their own, right? And it was just beautiful when it started happening. Oh, I would love to see mountain bikes under lights. That's awesome. And then, someone put up a product kind of thing. There's another one, but most people, and someone just started doing it, right? They started posting photos of themselves flying with their motorcycle in the air upside down and doing amazing things, right? And they just started doing more of it. And this is a community, right? So these people, now I feel like their customers are legit, which makes their brand legit, right? Kind of thing. So if you are about community and you say it a lot, how are you going to do that, right? How are you going to bring people together so that they can become a community? How are you going to help build the community and yada, yada, yada? So, the only question I have there is, you talk about the community stuff in your marketing here. How do you bring that forward, and what does that look like? Because the first call to action could be, join the community, follow us, like us, participate in this thing and that kind of stuff. and figure out ways to market to those people through those channels, right? There's all sorts of fun things you can do. Like you can have the asshole of the week, program going on, fun stuff. There's no shortage of things you can do there. You're going to be limited by not ideas, but how much resources you have to do them. But in your brand, which talks about community a lot, what is that community aspect? Because I'm not seeing it yet. Now, here, I would start, well, so let me just think about this for a second. Yeah, so I think your brand, it's not a satire, and I'm not an English major, so I'm probably going to define these words wrongly. It's not a satire as much as it's an over-the-top satire, right? So a satire would try to be as authentic looking as possible. Like I said, these are my definitions. A satire would be as authentic as possible, but not legit, like the ministry stuff and all that kind of stuff, and having seals and emblems and those kind of things, and this stuff here, that's satire. But I think you want it to be such an obvious satire. That's like the over the top, right? So because what I'm debating right now is your color scheme, right? So black and yellow is bold as shit, and you saw a second ago, right, with Rhino. They're black and yellow, and they used to have a black website. And I convinced Ryan, when we did a redesign a couple of years ago, to go to a white background, right? I very rarely do dark backgrounds. And I'm going to show you a couple of them, just so you can see where I do them. But we went to, so their colors are almost the same as yours, right? And I built a few of them. Let's see if Mavic is still there. Oh, I don't know what it was called. Not Mavic, the French bike brand, but there was a Mavic one that I built using those Mavic bike brands. Mavic Spokes, not that one. Rogue Mechanic, that was it. They had the black and yellow also, and he had a black background. We went to a white background. God, he hasn't upgraded that site since I built it in 2016. Oh my God. I could do such a better job today. But the point being, right, the black and yellow is a common thing. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're the satire, not the over-the-top satire, right? In my mind, a satire wouldn't be black and yellow. It would be more official-looking, right, kind of stuff. Where the over-the-top satire, which I think is what you're going for, would be the black and yellow. Now, when we look at a product page, the black background is a lot. You could have a black header and footer and a white background. So I promised you I'd show you some dark backgrounds or some background colors, right? So the first one I'm going to show you is not dark, but we did a background color. Fraggle Tribe. I haven't looked at the site in years also. Yeah, it's the same one. But you'll see so they've got this, clothing that people wear to raves and, EDM and stuff like that. And they're European because you can tell they're more fit than us Americans. But they got this organic feel in their products. So we went with this organic color scheme. I actually pulled off a Wood Elves color scheme from some game, and I made that their color scheme on their site, and we put everything. So they have a color background. One I did that's a little more over the top was Authentic Vintage. So, and he didn't want to go to a dark background when I started off. I had to convince him of it. Now, it's not, the 000 black that you're using, but what this is these are all, posters, and some of these are hundreds of years old, right? This one's from 1910, and they have stuff much older than that. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to push this content to the front, right? So by putting a darker background, you actually see, when I look at this page, I see this and this, right? Where a white background, because the white is so bright compared to this, the white would dominate a little bit. Because, these are old posters. These are the actual poster. He takes this photo of, he takes these photos in his shop. So they're all faded a little bit, right? They're all kind of worn out or washed out a little bit. So if we had a white background, the white would actually compete with the colors here because the colors aren't as vibrant as a new poster would have them. So we went with a dark background so the poster's colors pop more and come to the forefront and you see them, where in the white background you wouldn't. But we traditionally do websites white with black text for a really good reason on contrast. And this is much harder to read. White text on a black background much harder to read than black text on a white background. So your color scheme I think is okay. You might want to think about going with a white background. You can still keep the header and stuff like that, the black, and have that dominant in your face thing. And you could keep it all black. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's just something I'm thinking about there. We're going through your footer pages. I'm trying to go through pages that I hadn't seen yet. See, these background images are just horrible. Oh, look, first, sign up. Second, promote. 3, earn. So you got steps there, right? That's the journey you want for the... Oh, we're in another website, aren't we? Yeah, so you've got some other... That's going up to the header, and you've lost your header. But that's fine. You're using an affiliate model and all those kind of things. But, here you're spelling out the journey. Just do the same thing. I can't get back to your website here. You want to be able to let me go back to your website by clicking here, or have a link that takes you back to the website. Right? If I go to contact us, where does that take me? You stay on this experience. So, and you did not open this up in a new tab, right? So now I can't get back by clicking. I have to hit the back button. So just a little detail to play with. But that journey there, right? Remember, you got 2 journeys here. One is first, let me know which one of these buckets I'm part of. And then once I figure that out, then take me down the journey for that specific bucket. So I'm just looking at we're going down our pages. Yeah. So membership sounds to me like a subscription, right? And I wonder what your subscription product is, by the way. Because subscription is, of course, so if you're going to have a community, maybe you subscribe to be part of that community, right? Maybe you have a Slack or any sort of communication channel that's for members only, and how do you get people subscribing to you? And even if it was $3 a month, right? If you got 100 new people a month signing up for a $3 a month subscription, that's $300 of revenue per month, compounding or increasing by $300 every month. So by the end of the year, you've got 1,200 people. So per month, you're making $3,600. And at the end of 2 years, it's just one of those, it just builds kind of thing. And I'm thinking a really small membership number, like the whole Patreon thing, where before Patreon existed, there was no way to get like $1 a month out of a person. And now, whether you're on, YouTube or something or have a podcast, people can support you by just giving you $1 a month kind of thing. So could you have some sort of subscription that's $1 a month? $1 is a little like $3 a month. So, you join the community, and that's $3 a month. And, here we go. So maybe the community is... And I might be going off on a tangent here. Maybe your community, they're all certified assholes, right? So they all are empowered to help designate other assholes. So maybe you have the Asshole of the Month award that goes out to Elon Musk or Donald Trump or some other evil scientist, right? Kind of thing. And maybe the community gets to vote on that, right? So you're sending out these community emails. Hey, here's our contestants for Asshole of the Month. Place your vote kind of thing. So they're participating in that. You're engaging them. You're bringing them back to the site. They're part of that experience kind of stuff, and they feel like they're getting value out of it. And then you start doing PR presses for the Asshole of the Month, as announced by the official. The Ministry of Assholery has designated Elon Musk as Asshole of the Month for September 2023 for destroying Twitter, right? Or whatever it is, right? Kind of stuff. And that's the way you start building up some PR, which is what you're going to need to build your brand, right? I actually knew this woman, Martha Brockenbrough, and she started the International, I'm going to guess here, I think it's Grammar Day. National Grammar Day. I think that was started by Martha. I worked with at Microsoft. And she just literally started her own thing, right? And I was driving to work one day, and I'm listening to NPR, and there's Martha talking about National Grammar Day. I'm like, holy shit, how did she do that, right? And that's just good PR. Yeah, I don't see her name or anything there. Yeah, Martha, right there. Founder of the Society for Promotion of Good Grammar, designated National Grammar Day in 2008, right? So she just did it all on her own. She was just an individual person doing this. And her and her husband both worked at Microsoft. They're just smart people, right? But she just, was passionate about grammar, started this, Society for Promotion of Good Grammar, and all of a sudden she's getting interviewed by NPR and it's got National Grammar Day kind of thing. So, how do you do that? And how do you do that with your community, right? So there's International Asshole Day, right? International Call Out an Asshole Day, all that kind of stuff. And members get to participate in these things, vote on these things, be part of these things. They get insider information. They get the inside jokes, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you've watched the YouTube videos or listened to the podcasts that were like, hey, Patreons, don't forget to get your bonus content over here, that kind of stuff. I think your bonus content could be the community, right? Allowing those people to have a voice inside of this platform that you're building as you come out with, let's just see. National Asshole Day. There already is one. National Asshole Awareness Day. Doesn't give us any history here, but those are the kind of things you want to look into. See if you're going to tap into those, or if you're going to supersede them with your own things. Like what we do here with. I don't think I've shown you a rep to chip yet, but. We actually, so they sell coconut substrate for lizards and snakes, right? So we actually have a World Lizard Day campaign. World Lizard Day happens to be on August 14th, so it's already passed, and we did a 20% offer, right? We also had, I think, World Snake Day. Boom, right? So July 16th, and October is International Lizard Month, I think, or Lizard Awareness Month. I have to work on that content this weekend. But these are the kind of things, when you talk about your community, or when I talk about your community, I start thinking about, right? How do you get these people participating in these things? Because maybe what you're going to do for World Snake Day or World Asshole Day, or there was an international, where was it? National Asshole Awareness Day. Wouldn't that be the best day of the year for your community to designate the top 10 assholes of the year and have them all vote on who they are? And then you come out with a press release and you post it on all your content that, the asshole, the community, the members of the, I keep forgetting the words that you were using. I like the way that you were phrasing this before. Let's see if I can find it really quickly. Is it Assholes Anonymous? Assaholics Anonymous? Whatever you had, whatever your ministry or certified the organization name is. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. I didn't see it. There's your over-the-top thing. Well done. Genius. I would just have the cloak, with your emblem and gold seal or something like that. And you know why you sell a $10,000 product? So that when you sell a $2,000 product, it doesn't look that expensive, right? Nobody's going to buy that. And somebody actually might, just as a joke kind of thing. But when you have the $2,000 product that's also over the top that no one would buy, they will buy it because there's a $10,000 product that's actually expensive. The $2,000 isn't that much. But come, at the International Asshole Day, day, or call out National Asshole Awareness Day. Your community does this list. You publish it out, kind of thing. So you need a subscription, right? Subscription's super important, and that's your community. Subscribers are your community, right? But you have to put enough value in that subscription to get people purchasing it, right? And right now it's going to be hard because you're new at this and you're just getting started and you're just building the brand. So some of the things you might want to do is have, because remember, this is why I was saying before, it's not what you're doing. Like I was kind of screaming, what was it? You're about, right? You're about, what was that? Oh, this one right here. With quality first, we will create unique products and platforms members can be proud of and want to show off, allowing them to create and share laughter, earn money, and make the world laugh a little bit more. The earn money I would never put in there, by the way. You want to be earning money. If they do, they're only earning money at a fraction of what you're earning money, right? You're building a pyramid scheme here on purpose. And pyramid scheme sounds like a negative, so let me take that away. What you're providing is, a community where people get together and have fun and just laugh at ourselves and each other, right? In good natured humor. You probably won't phrase it that way. I get what you're saying here, but it's not about the unique products, right? It's about the platforms that members can participate in, with other like-minded, fun-natured people, kind of thing, right? So maybe what you have in the beginning is for your community, you got content, specific channels, and maybe as maybe as a community member, you get to nominate other assholes, one a month or something. Who's your nominee this month for asshole, and then they get to vote on the asshole of the month and that kind of stuff. And maybe you also have some sort of drawing or somehow you want, here we go. Yeah, I like this. I don't know how you execute this, right? It's just an idea. But what if, community members can nominate themselves or other people, for asshole of the month? So not at the Elon Musk level, but, tell us, how you were an asshole this month, or how you called out an asshole this month, depending on which tact you're going to go with this direction of the stuff. And then the community votes on who was the best caller out of assholes this month, and that person gets an award, right? So they get a product, or they get a mug or a T-shirt and that kind of stuff. So maybe as a member of this subscription, you get to vote, you get to nominate yourself and vote on things, and the winners of those things. So we're voting on community members who are the assholes or the caller out of assholes or the anti-asshole, whatever the right thing is. And then the winner of that gets a free product or something like that. And their face up there, just the recognition alone might be enough, right? Here's our community asshole of the month. Meet John. And John tells his story, and he's just, like that guy in that TikTok video I saw where the guy's like, yeah, I'm just a dickhead. I get up every morning looking to see who I can piss off, right? And if you, being a member of your community, allows someone to have the opportunity to have that platform with the rest of the community, right? And then you have to see which direction it goes, right? It could go the direction of Rhino Power, where people will start to show themselves flying through the air on their motorcycles, or it could go the direction of, you don't want it to go in, right? I think you want it to go in the direction of, we're just here having fun and self-deprecating humor. But in today's world, it could easily go in the opposite direction, right? And just be fucking hatred and that kind of stuff. So how you're going to manage that, I have no idea. But that's, if you're successful, it's because you're going to figure out how to manage those kind of things. All right. Just going through your pages. I think we've been through most of them. I'm just going to pick on this product because I love it so much. So I hate you may also like, by the way. I do like the you've recently viewed, but this is just like, I'm looking at a $10,000 fucking product. Why would you incentivize me to buy a $9.95 product right now? Right? And I could say that about any product. Like, I know I want this product. I'm thinking about this product. Don't distract me with these other things, especially because these are so freaking bright, right? Yeah, the contrast there is absolutely awful. Contrast meaning the color. It's harder to read. Yeah, see, this is just funny as hell. We created this for anybody out there who gets the joke and who has more money than brains, as some of you assholes certainly do. I love that. By the way, you need a name tag that just says asshole. And by a name tag, I mean like a name tag that, is the plastic name tag that is etched with a little router thing, so it's not like written on there. It's not a sticker. It's the one with buttons or pins on the back, and it just says asshole. Right? I actually have a pin that says "This is my Halloween costume," and it's like that big of a pin, right? And I actually wear that on Halloween because I don't do costumes, right? This is my Halloween costume, right? You need the asshole. My name tag is asshole. Not am I just certified? I have a card. My name tag says asshole, but it's just an aside. Right? I'm sure you come up with 100 of those ideas already. Yeah, you need to put a face to this minister. The ultimate royal asshole. Yeah, I can see an infographic, by the way, where you have levels of asshole. And then you have, well, and what it takes to become each one of these levels, right? And that's just building up this whole inside joke that you're building out, right? It's the more content you create, right? So one of the, I keep apologizing for bouncing all over the place, but and I hope this is still recording because the counter over there is static, so we'll see if it picks up again here in a minute. Like in Star Wars, in Star Trek, right? When fans come up and create their own fiction, it's because there's so much story. And I forget the word they call that. I used to know the guy his job was, he was the Halo, the video games. He was their keeper of their history, whatever that story, that word is called for. The lore of the thing, right? So one of the things you're doing here is you're building your brand, is you're building up this lore. I'm going to use the word lore. I don't know what the real word is, right? I'm going to use the word lore. You're building up this lore, right? So the ultimate royal asshole, right? Well, that is 3 tiers above the Duke of Asshole, right? Which is 3 tiers above the Earl of Asshole, like whatever kind of thing. So just as you build as you're building out these types of things and doing these jokes, yeah, this is still recording. The numbers changed again. So it's every minute. I used to show every second, but now that we're an hour and a half, it's only showing every minute. But so that type of content that you build is going to help you build this brand and build this story that you're telling, right? It's just back again to what I started out with is as a brand, which is what you're building, it's all about storytelling and content creation. And the more that can make sense, even if, it's like that whole, people learn Klingon. Like, Star Trek had a language it created, and people were so fanatical about it, they actually created a real language from that fake language, and people learn Klingon now, right? And once again, people, if you don't tell them what it is, if you don't tell them a story, they can't repeat that story. So people can self-identify on their scale of assholedness, right? And, only one can be the ultimate royal asshole, right? There can be only one. So, love that kind of stuff. Your product pages, your product images need a lot of work, right? It's just really big. The hover is not helping you at all here, right? The second image on hover, I would not do that. I would not have the quick things. And let me give you a more explicit explanation when I say that, right? So, I believe that this image should show me what I am buying, right? So, we already talked about breaking this up into 3. This I get. I'm buying that card. That hover image doesn't help. This hover image doesn't help. This one Get a certified official membership and VIP certified gold card. So I got the word certified in there twice. I still don't know what the official membership is. This thing, I do not know what that is. So I guess this is this plus this, even though this card looks different than the card on this photo. Right? I'm not hovering over the photo because it changes the image. And this one here, the card in this one is the same as this card, but this card is different. This card looks the same as this card, right? So what is this one versus this one? And this one says VIP certified asshole metal gold card. Put it in your wallet. I like that idea. This is getting a certified official membership and VIP certificate gold card. They're both the same price. So this is just this. The products are confusing. You got to make it drop dead simple clear, which is hard to do, right? Hard to make it drop dead simple clear what the differences between your products are, right? And that's where that story, that journey we talked about can help you do some of that. But let me just look at this product. So I'm seeing a new thing, which is ass class, right? I put the ass in classy. I see ass class here. I don't know where that came from. And maybe that's part of your lore that you're building up. I just hadn't seen it before. Yeah, so I like this. I like this a lot. You're going to engrave it for another $15, right? So you're going to sell this for $25. You're going to sell it engraved for $40. So you want that personalized, and they can pick their fonts and all that kind of stuff, just to make more money, right? Because all you're trying to do here is maximize the revenue you're making on this purchase and over the life of the customer, as we talk about the subscription, that kind of stuff. But on this one here, you got that premium product. You're charging more for it. Well, make the premium also have a premium, which is the engraved name kind of thing, for another $15, maybe $10 in this case, kind of thing. And what I would be doing here is, as you're trying to sell this, right? VIP certified asshole metal gold card. Put it in your wallet. Awesome, awesome. Where's my photo or video, even better, of an asshole pulling this out of his wallet and saying, "Dude, I'm a certified asshole." Right? So you could have two guys walk up to each other. One guy goes, "I'm an asshole." It's like, yeah, you may be an asshole, but he opens up his wallet, pulls out his gold card, and says, "I'm a certified fucking asshole," right? Kind of thing. And, it's early on, and I'm sure you're thinking about that kind of stuff, and you're going to be doing that. But that type of content, right? So here, what you're showing is just the thing. The thing is not what you're selling. That card doesn't matter. What matters is the one-upping the other guy, or the laughs that you both get out of the one-upmanship that second person had by pulling the card out of their wallet. You're not selling a product. You're selling, sarcasm. You're selling, self-deprecation. You're selling, whatever, the humor, right? Just, a comedic community addicted to creating laughter. You're selling laughter. You're giving the people a reason to laugh, right? I don't see that here. All I see is a card. You're not selling a card. You're selling a fun time. Not even a fun card, a fun time. So show that fun time, right? I'm a huge believer in a video on every single product page, maybe 5. Not exaggerate. I've done product pages with 5 videos before. Let's see if I can take you to Grip Clean. And here's the thing. As a brand that you're selling, not a product, this is going to be even more important for you than it is here. So these guys have done an absolutely fabulous job on TikTok, right? They make TikTok videos. So this company used to make hand cleaner for auto mechanics. Now they make videos that sell hand cleaners for auto mechanics. They've shifted their entire company to be all about video, right? So they have video everywhere, right? That one's not clicking for some reason. And they've got some really, really good ones and, some not so good ones kind of thing. But on TikTok, yeah, these are all their TikTok videos. Let's see if I can just go to their TikTok and see it there. They have 1.4 million followers, right? 44 million likes. They've got videos with 3 million likes or views and that kind of stuff. And all they do in their videos is get your hands dirty and clean it, right? So they're not doing videos about trendy dance moves and stuff like that, right? All they do is get dirty every day. And guys, people getting dirty, and they'll just, find someone, let's jump into this vat of oil or whatever, and now we're going to clean them off kind of thing, right? It is completely related to their product and their business. So, they're not just trying to attract an audience by doing gratuitous things. They stay focused on their stuff, but they do it really well. But, they've perfected how to create videos. But what I'm leading up to is, so this is Bryce here. He's the owner of the company. And we're going to go to one of their product pages. I haven't looked at this site in a while. And what he used to have is a video on every single product page. And he no longer does that. All right, he's going to prove me wrong here. What I was going to say is, like what these guys are doing, and they're not doing it now, so they've changed what they're doing. What these guys were doing is they were putting a video on every single product page to help sell the page, right? And it was just Bryce coming out and saying, hey, I'm Bryce, and here's how we use this product and that kind of thing. They're still doing their TikTok videos and that kind of thing. But you need to be thinking about becoming an expert in content creation, right? A brand is an expert in content creation, whether it's like Allbirds or any top brand you can think of. Not only are they making a great product, but they're making great content. And so that video of a guy walking up to another guy and one-upping him and assholeness by having his certified asshole card, that should be the kind of video you guys should be able to create today. And even if it's not the best video in the world today, it's better than nothing. And that little story in that video is going to sell this card way better than expecting somebody to actually read this accordion, which you have to scroll through because it doesn't expand all the way kind of thing on stuff, right? So hopefully that makes sense, right? What you're selling is not products. You're selling experiences that your products enable. So what you have to be doing is showing people those experiences, not those products. Now that experience has the product as part of it, but it's the experience that you're selling, not the product. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. I think, it's an hour and 38 minutes. I think that's a lot of feedback for you. Let me know if you got any questions. I'm going to call it quits now. It is, 5:30 on a Friday afternoon, so it is beer time. Let me know if you got any questions. I do think this is fun as shit. I think you have something here, just like you already said, right? Executing on this is really hard because that execution is in this story thing. It's in the brand thing. It's creating that content, all that stuff I've been talking about for the past hour and a half, right? That's harder. In some respects, it's easier than, building the world's best chocolate, right? Or, the best steak you've ever tasted, right? Building a brand based on a story like that, like for Shitty to build this brand is absolute genius. And I would say even harder than it was for Chama to make the best tasting steak. The hard part for Chama is not going to be making the steak. It's going to be convincing the world that they have made that best tasting steak there is, right? It's the brand that's going to be harder for them. And I actually wonder if they're going to be successful at it because it is so hard, right? So that's why these guys were so genius. I don't know how they did it, but they had the skills to do that. And that's what you're signing up for in my mind is, you're the next shitty. And they went to a product because they're making fun of Yetis. Where you, I think you're not going to be so much, you're selling products, but you're not going to like make a legit product. These are, let's call them fake products or gag products, right? You're not going to make legit products, I don't think, which makes it even harder, right? But this is a great space to be doing that in, right? Because it's the kind of thing where it is funny and everybody should be able to laugh about this, and you can have lots of fun doing that. So that's my thoughts. Let me know if it makes sense, and happy to talk to you again later.